Welcome into Clippers Talk. I'm Adam Osland. Coming up on today's show, we got a special guest for you guys. But if you want to find me, I'm at Follow Adam A on X, at Clippers Talk on the TikTok, at Follow Adam A, Clippers Talk on Instagram. And of course, you may be watching right now on the YouTube side at Clippers Talk. All right, let's get into it. So, what's the line here? When your idols become your rivals? Well, joining the show right now is our competitor from ESPN 710, but he's also a mentor and friend. It is the great Beto Duran here on Clippers Talk. Beto, how we doing?
Oh man, rivals. Who would have thought that, right? Hey, we're just rivals and trying to get paid. That's all we are. But no, before we get going into this, Adam, thank you so much for inviting me. And you know this, I'm a big fan of you and Carlo, but I remember you when we used to do the Chargers. And I would give you a little bit of advice on how you can finagle your way into it. And look at you now, big time star, working till like 5 a.m. after every game, 8,000 YouTube shows per night. I mean, I'm really happy for you. You work hard and you're great at what you do.
My motto is quantity over quality. That's what I like to do here on Clippers Talk. Let's talk about some poor quality exits to the playoffs by our teams, both being bounced in the first round. You guys in 5 games by the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Clippers losing in 7 to the Denver Nuggets. And I was talking with Lauren Rosen, our wonderful sideline courtside reporter, last week about what we can learn from these playoffs. And that was more so from just the Clippers' perspective, what other teams have done to make their runs in the 2025 NBA playoffs. But then I started to think, well, what can we learn from the Lakers? And what can the Lakers learn from us? And are there some comparing and some contrasting going on and similarities between these two teams in LA? So I want to talk about, first of all, the Lakers here, and maybe there are some similarities with the way you guys left the playoffs and just some of the weaknesses being the same. And I don't know, did you guys feel like you looked a little bit older out there than the Minnesota Timberwolves? What were the main reasons that the Lakers got out in the first round, Beto?
Lack of a bench. We saw in the last couple of games where JJ Redick did not trust anybody except for his starters, and that was it. The Lakers are an old team. If you look at LeBron and how old he is, oldest player in the league, and LeBron is playing 40 minutes for you. You know, generational talent, one of the best ever. But one thing about the Lakers, and like you and I both catch a lot of heat from myopic fans that call us just haters for just saying that they're not the best. Well, it's even more with Laker fans. So, Adam, you know me for a long time, and I will tell you exactly how I feel. Um, I am not going to be the one that's going to paint you the rosy picture. When Luka Doncic got picked up by the Lakers, it was like fantastic. They can make a run. Can they win a championship? I said no. And the heat that I got right away, because the West is so stacked. The West is so young, so athletic. And these young players in the NBA are not intimidated by the jersey that you're wearing. They're not intimidated because LeBron's on the court. They go after you. You see that with Anthony Edwards, with SGA, everybody else around there. It's like, cool, we'll respect what you've done, but I'm going to be a dog and I'm going to get after you. And that's what happened with the Lakers. I thought the Lakers would win that series in 6. I thought it was going to be very, very hard. I
I
never
had him in
thought
6 too. I got to be honest. I had the Lakers in 6.
I thought it was going to be a very, very difficult series, and I was getting ripped by fans like, it's here's why. Minnesota's team, take away Anthony Edwards, their coaching staff is so good. Chris Finch and his coaches know how to make adjustments. That was another thing that the Lakers didn't have. JJ Redick was in his first year coaching, let alone his first playoff coaching. So JJ Redick was making adjustments. And that, again, it's the players that make the plays. It's Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle that got down, but the Lakers didn't make the right adjustments. And if they did, it was a little bit too late. So Minnesota, give them credit for making the right adjustments from last year, but that comes with experience. And Anthony Edwards was not intimidated by anybody at all. Was I surprised the Lakers lost? No. Was I surprised in the way that they lost? Absolutely. That was the surprise for me, because there was no fight in it. And it was a team that was gassed at the end, a team that was playing your starters almost 48 minutes. It was a team that had no depth. And it was a team that got exposed for what they didn't do in the offseason, didn't do at the trade deadline. They have no size and didn't know how to make adjustments. Is it going to be a big offseason for the Lakers? Absolutely. They have to be, because you can't stay pat with what they have. And for the Clippers, I'll text you after I hear you or during your Clipper talk. I'm like, this team is better than what your fans are giving them credit for. They should make a better run. Disappointed in the way you guys ended? Absolutely, because there's nothing like LA rocking and rolling when the teams are in the playoffs. And I thought you guys would make a longer run than what you did, especially with Kawhi getting healthy, with Kawhi playing the way he was. So it was disappointing to see for both teams.
It felt like a missed opportunity, especially because you see the Lakers go out in five. And what happened in 2021 was you guys lost to Phoenix in the first round. The Clippers made a run to the Western Conference Finals, and they actually owned the city for a little bit when it came to basketball in Los Angeles, which is obviously very rare for the Clippers to do. So, in that respect, a missed opportunity. You bring up JJ Redick and going for it the way he did in game four, playing his starting group the entire second half. He was under scrutiny for that. And Coach Lou took some heat for maybe not having, maybe the opposite of JJ Redick, not having a sense of urgency,
Mhm.
not playing his guys as many minutes. In game one, the Clippers went into overtime, and I think Kawhi was still at only 41, 42 minutes total, including overtime in there. And it just felt like I don't know. They've maybe underestimated the Denver Nuggets in some ways because Denver was floundering. They fired their head coach, they fired their GM, and you thought they're ripe for the picking. Didn't turn out to be that way. They rallied in the playoffs against the Clippers. But what was your overall perception in talking about the coaches of JJ Redick throughout this season, even with how things ended?
The Lakers had so many different starting lineups this season because of injuries. That was one of the big factors that JJ had to deal with. And did JJ do better than I expected? Absolutely. Did he do better than a lot of people expected? Absolutely. And before you even start, well, give me Luka and LeBron. I could coach him too. Yeah, but it wasn't that. You're trying to figure out a way to get Jackson Hayes in your rotation. Like, believe me or not, Adam, I had Jackson Hayes apologists. I like Jackson, good dude,
I do
7 foot
too.
can do one thing, and most of those times he wasn't doing it. Do not. It just,
Hey,
yeah.
we don't have a backup center either. That's reliable. So
Okay,
similarity right there.
but you have a center. You have
Now there
one.
is that. Now I feel like maybe you guys have some history with the center that starts for the Clippers at this point. Man, what a world of difference it would have made for the Lakers if they just hadn't made that one move.
What
If
up?
Magic
What's up, Mike
Johnson hadn't made
Muscala?
one move.
Mike Muscala, where are you right now, bro? Um, no, this is what the Lakers are. They're trying to figure themselves out. I was surprised at the way Ty Lue operated at the end because I'm a huge Ty Lue fan, and Laker fans will tell you that too. Man, we love Ty Lue. It
Another
just,
one that got away.
yeah, it just didn't look right at the end of the series against Denver. I thought they would get by Denver in a really, really tough battle, just a little bit, because I became a big Kawhi is healthy fan. Like, look, I'm a huge Kawhi fan in general, but when Kawhi is working and he's so efficient in the mid range and he's knocking down everything with ease, it's like, oh, if you could get that more, right? I thought they'd be one more round for you guys.
Yeah, I think they at least, if they have gotten past Denver, they might have made things interesting against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because one of the ways that I was kind of justifying it is that, well, Denver was better than we thought, and they pushed the best team in the league in the Thunder to 7 games as well. I think the OKC Thunder are going to go on to win the championship, and we'll talk more about that coming up here. But this was a team that left a little bit of meat on the bone this season with the Clippers. You no longer had the excuse of, well, we didn't have Kawhi healthy. If we were only healthy this time, it would have made all the difference in the world. They got a little bit exposed for some of those flaws while having the healthier team versus Denver as well in that series. They were banged up. Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, who ended up maybe being the MVP of that series. He was so damn good against the Clippers. But I think back to other matchups in the West, and I'm getting now revisionist history from Clippers fans saying, what if we had lost that last game of the regular season to Golden State and then gotten the play in and then gotten the Houston Rockets in the first round instead? Would that have been a better path for us? Maybe. I think Houston posed some problems to the Clippers as well. Is there a matchup problem with you guys against Minnesota where you could say, if we had only played this other team in the first round instead, we would have moved on? Or do you think the Lakers just had some fatal flaws?
They were going to get exposed no matter what. It doesn't matter who was going to have them. You saw Adam. They did not play the bench in the second half of a playoff game. It doesn't matter if you're playing the Rockets, if you're playing the Warriors, it doesn't matter who it is. Yeah, because you guys had that. Could we play somebody else in different? Like being around sports for a lot of years and being around a lot of really good coaches, they don't think of, oh, let's lose here so we get this matchup. It's let's win and take care of it. And wherever it is, it is. Because if you can't beat this team in that first round, then what the hell are you worried about the Western Conference Finals? Like you have to get through who's ever in front of you. And that's what we do in sports talk radio. That's what we do in sports is like, well, if, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah, but at the end of the day, give me who's in front and let's go. You have 7 games for a reason, right? And if you can't figure it out in 7 games in a series, then who cares what the next round is or whatever, because you're not going to win that round anyways. You might win the first round, but are you going to win the next one? Probably not. You just have to be loaded. You need a lot of luck to get to the finals, right? And I'm not saying talent, I'm talking about everybody being healthy, everybody being in the right spot, everybody, traveling the right way. It's just little things to get there. The talent is always going to rise at the end. That's why Oklahoma City is who they are. And I'm a big SGA fan. Again, back when he was a Clipper. But then again, I say this on the show all the time. Look, SGA as a rookie, none of you knew who he was. Don't even
Thank
start.
you.
Like, you have to be the hardcore Kentucky fan to know where he's at. And I remember watching him. The reason I know SGA or know of him is he used to work out with Olin Simpless. His name is the Guard Whisperer on social media. He does a lot of training with a lot of NBA players. And my son would go to him. My son played basketball too. So my son would be in the same gym as Olin. And you would see the pro guys leaving. And then the high school and the college kids come in. And remember Olin telling me, like, that dude right there. I'm like, that guy? Like, he just didn't look like he stood up because there was also Rui Hashimura was coming in there. There was a lot of other big-time NBA guys that were in there working out, and Olin is named the Guard Whisperer. Go check him out. The workouts that he does, fantastic, right there in Glendale. And he would tell me, that dude right there has the attitude. But you never saw that as a rookie with the Clippers because they didn't need him right then and there, right? He still needed to develop. And he didn't become SGA until recently, right? So I know people want to say, well, that trade, which could have done, you're going to tell me the whole city wasn't, or the Clipper city wasn't like, oh man, we got Paul George and Kawhi. Let's go.
Can you speak on that? What was it like back in 2019, Beto? Because so many people seem to have a selective memory right now with just how hyped everybody was at the time.
It was, oh damn, really? Like, because Paul George was Paul George at that time, right? He wasn't the Paul George podcast P that is annoying everybody now, right? We still didn't know much about him because it was like, oh, the dude from Fresno. Oh, the dude from Fresno who everybody thought was going to go to the Lakers is now on the Clippers. Kawhi and Paul George at this time, damn. What did the Lakers have at that time? Not much, right? It was like, why? But it made sense to pair those two up. And I have no problem with the Clippers going for it. You trade tomorrow for what you think you can get today. The Rams did that a couple years ago, but then you got to pay a couple years later when you don't have the draft picks. Same thing with the Lakers. People talk about, oh, they could have had Jason Tatum if they would have drafted it. If they would have drafted Jason Tatum instead of Lonzo Ball, you know what's going to happen? He's going to New Orleans for Anthony Davis. You're still going to make those. You trade young dudes because you're trying to get an established star. And that's what the Clippers and the Lakers have done. It's okay to say, damn, we had him, but would he have developed into SGA now with Kawhi on your team? With like, what would it have been? You still needed a couple years for SGA to develop to where he's at now. So I get everybody like, oh, we had him. Yeah, but you didn't even know him. Like, he wasn't playing for you.
Yeah, they would have. Him being in the incubator situation in OKC expedited his development. He wouldn't be at this point most likely being the MVP of the league, and I think he's going to end up Finals MVP. I got them winning in 5 or 6 games against Indiana. What say you about the NBA Finals matchup now?
Oh, you're right. Yo, Paul George, not Fresno. Let me get me right, Liberty. I meant Fresno State.
Right, where he played.
Yeah, where he played. Paul George is, of course,
Palmdale guy, whatever.
Palmdale, whatever. So sorry about that. Let me see. I'm getting all fired up. Adam got me all fired up this morning. What was your question? I'm sorry, Adam.
So with you guys, and I'm thinking about the situation with the Clippers and the Lakers a lot right now, but I'm going to put it to the side for a second and just look at this NBA Finals matchup.
Yeah.
Because the ultimate pain, I've been talking about maximum pain for this Clippers team, is seeing SGA win the NBA Finals. He's got the
Why? Why is that
MVP
pain?
because he's the one that got away for us.
But
It
if he
just
would have
feels
been the
like,
star that you traded, then yeah.
look, I'm with you. I think a lot of this, looking back on the trade from 2019, is people forgetting just how excited they were at the time for getting Kawhi Leonard and making sure he didn't go to the Lakers. That
Yeah,
was such a big moment in
man,
Clippers
he was
franchise
never going to the
history.
Lakers.
You don't think so?
Hell no.
It's
Kawhi,
between the two.
no. Kawhi does his own thing, bro. Like he's, you know, South LA grown up, Riverside, Inland Empire, where he grew up in high school, then San Diego State. He's always done his own kind of thing. Do you really think Kawhi, having been under Pop and how the Spurs operate, the way they think, you think Kawhi was going to go and be like, let me go join the Lakers who have a bunch of other dudes, and I'm going to kind of be in the background? Not that he wants to be the star, the face
True.
of, but it's like, I'm going to
Being
share
in
the
the
ball with
shadow. Yeah,
I'm going to
shadow
share
of
the ball with how
LeBron.
many other dudes?
I get that. I get that. A lot of Clippers fans now are like, well, Kawhi in some ways hurt us because he demanded to have that second star. But if you look at it at the time, it was duos in the NBA. You had to
Yes.
have a second star. Now, he won in Toronto and got through the East, and they beat a Golden State Warriors team that was injured in the NBA Finals. It was a unique situation, but it felt like the NBA was changing very quickly, and the landscape was you better have a second guy next to you. And Paul George was coming off his best season. So I understand where Kawhi was coming from. I don't hold anything against him for wanting to move SGA to bring in a more established guy who was just finishing top 3 in MVP that year. Like, that's not crazy to me.
No, do it. And again, we love SGA, but he wasn't SGA there. And he still needed a couple years to develop. And like you said, the incubator of OKC. Remember, OKC had some bad teams,
Oh, yeah.
and but he was playing 40 minutes. He was playing under the radar where nobody's paying attention to him, and he's developed to where he's at. The dude works. Again, I'm a huge fan of him. But yeah, we're going down memory lane. You know why? Because neither of our teams are playing, and neither of us are working, and we're bored.
Who do you got winning the NBA Finals? 'Cause I think it's going to be the OKC Thunder in 5 or 6 games.
I think OKC in 6. I love Indiana because Rick Carlisle and where they're going, and that's a team that everybody said was going to lose every round, right? Nobody's given them an opportunity. Again, I'm not playing the little underdog like this is Hoosiers, but nobody was like, "Oh, we want the Pacers." Nobody. Look, they took care of the best teams in front of them. This goes back to like what we were talking about earlier about the seeding. Who do you want to play? Indiana hasn't had it easy, but they've taken care of everybody in front of them, and it hasn't been like, oh, they got by, they got lucky. It's more like, damn, they're doing this. And Halliburton coming out with what he's doing, right? Everybody on that team doing what they have to do. Again, Rick Carlisle, fantastic coach, does a
Yeah.
great job with them, gets the most out of them. But if you look at Indiana, is they've adjusted every series to what they have. Even look, you and I both deal with like New Yorker people, right? So like the Knicks fans become very, very annoying. Just how Laker fans can become very, very annoying as well.
Yeah.
But
Thanks for saying that.
Knicks fans are the worst because in our generation, nobody's ever won. I've never seen them win. Like
Yeah.
the 90s, that was ugly basketball. I wasn't paying attention. Like you weren't even born yet when they were playing against the Heat and stuff like that. But it's just like, damn, they become annoying, right? And Indiana never got shook by them. They never got intimidated. I'm like, whatever. You have all that other stuff behind you. Let's just beat you. And they did. And they make the right adjustments. The OKC team is just so young. They're the depth that they have with it. And you have Caruso, former Laker, who is just like all over you. He smothers you. Like the defense that they play. And this is something that we heard early on in the season. Michael Thompson was telling me that one of the coaches from other teams said, watch OKC. When you guys go there, you cannot breathe because of the smothering defense that they have. And this was what, November when Michael told me this, and it's only gotten better here in June.
Yeah. And it travels. Like, shots come and go. Their defense is the most consistent thing any team has in
Yep.
these playoffs, always shows up. So difficult to play against. You brought up something a little bit earlier in talking about our roles, our jobs, what we have to do. And it's interesting between balancing that line of, look, I make no bones about it. I tell people up front, full disclosure, I know where my bread is buttered. I am technically a Clippers employee. I want to protect the logo at times, but I also need to tell the truth because otherwise I'd lose credibility. Listen to me. So there's that balancing act going. How do you cut 10?
Well, I've been around a long time. So my background is I've been in this business more than 20 years now. I started in 2001 as a dude at ESPN Radio, throwing out the t-shirts, driving the promotional truck, stuff like that. I worked my way up. It's an honor and a privilege to host any kind of pre and post game show. There's not that many jobs. There's 3 of us that do this job. It's fantastic. It's an honor. And I was as an intern in something like that. Anyway, whatever it was. All I know is that
Knuckleheads in there, Quinn Richardson, Darius Miles days.
Michael Olowokandi.
Ooh, Candyman.
Last year. And I remember my first day, media day, we had to sign the basketball and stuff like that. And Lamar Odom came up to him like, "Hey man, me and you this year." And Olowokandi's like, "Yeah, okay." Just and I was like, "Okay, this kind of." And like, I grew up going to Clipper games at the sports arena because they were cheaper than Laker games. My brother would take me because when the play games at halftime, I was one of those, right? So I've always known what's going on, but you always know what it is. But as far as the job, it's as I always tell you, Adam. Like I listen, like you do a great job because when you're doing something, and I'm not taking shots here, but you guys are overshadowed by the Lakers, just like the Chargers are overshadowed by the Rams or the Raiders or anybody else. And I did Charger talk with you, right? But I'm not your job is less. It's just your job is harder because you're dealing with the hardcore fans that really know what's up. I'm dealing with the hardcore fans and then the casuals who are like, "Oh man, LeBron sucks." Why? Because you're watching the game at the bar and all of a sudden you want to call sports talk radio and just say LeBron sucks. Like I'm dealing with those kind of guys. You get the hardcore fans that know everything about your team, as do the Lakers. But there's like a lot of like Laker different fan podcasts and everybody has an option to do. It's 2025. You don't have to listen to us. But what I do at 710 on the radio is I cultivate that community of callers. Like, let's really have a conversation. Let's really enjoy it because the way that we do call-in shows can't be the way we did it 10 years ago because everybody has an opinion now on their phone. Everybody has an opinion on social media.
Yeah.
So you want to make it fun for everybody. At the same time, I can't sugarcoat anything. And one thing that John Ireland told me a long time ago, Lakers play-by-play guys, don't be vanilla. They're going to love you or hate you, but make sure they have an opinion on you. And I'm not going to be one of those that comes out and is like over the top. Oh my God. Like, you can't do that. You just got to be neutral. Go back to your reporting days. Go back to what you learned in journalism class. Tell the truth, straight to the point, and give me something that they can't get on their phone. Give me something that is different from everybody else. That's why you being in the building 3-4 hours before the game, you can tell me what's going on. You being in the building 2 hours after the game, you can tell me what's going on. Give me something that I can't read on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. But our jobs are to inform the people, but it's also to entertain the people. And it's also like a sounding board where you can tweet enough, but there's something about making that phone call to somebody and just be like, I need a vent, bro, because I'm here with you. We watch every game. We watch every minute of it. And it's like, damn it, you're frustrated. And I get it. And a lot of Laker fans this year were frustrated. But then the Lakers, the last couple of years, has been a roller coaster where you get, man, we're the best team ever. And I'm like, slow the roll, bring it down. And then you have other fans who are like, we suck, we're the worst. It's like, calm down. Like, you're in that middle ground. Like, that's where you want to be. And like, we're kind of like the ringleader. We're kind of just, moving things around, pieces different or where you go. And, I'm 46 now, so I know how to do it a little more than you because when I was your age, I would get so wrapped up and argue with everybody. Like, no, like it's like this is what happens when you get older, Adam. You you're like, you know what, bro? Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. They're the worst team ever. You're right. You just let it go because sometimes people just want to vent, man. And we have fun with it, just like you do on your show. And it's just, again, I'm a big fan of what you do, and it's an honor and a privilege to be able to do these shows for the NBA. And for Laker fans, again, a lot of them don't like me. It's okay. I know my style isn't for everybody, but you're not going to call up and say that JJ Redick's a terrible coach. He should be fired. And it's like game 20. Like
Yeah.
you're not going to call up and say, oh, LeBron is this and that. Like, bro, he's going to be one of the best ever. You're like, he didn't lose the game. You lost the game because they're not that good. How about that? Like, how about the team effort part? Like, it's something like that.
What was the Luka Doncic situation and that roller coaster this year? Once you got him, and then some people were really down on him after what happened in the playoffs, feeling
Oh,
like he should have played better.
bro. Okay, so Luka Doncic gets picked up. In the first game, there's a couple people like, this was a terrible trade. I'm like, okay. You know, the one where you're like, go on. We should have kept Max Christie. I'm like, are you like, this goes back to the ringleader part. All right, let it be. Again, if I was you, if I was younger, I would have been like, just straight hang up on this dude. Like, forget it. What are you talking about? But people think what they think. And in this day and age, everybody has so much access to the information. It used to be just you and I and the reporters, but now every single practice gets shown right away. We get the clips right away, and everybody can get the information, and everybody creates your own information, right? Everybody creates their own opinions. Max Christie was a nice player. Trade his ass. Like, it's real simple. You have an opportunity to get Luka Doncic, you get him.
You sound
And
like
then,
Kobe. Ship his ass out.
yeah,
Everybody said that about
yeah.
Andrew Bynum back in the day.
It's just like, oh my God. But then you have the people who are like, oh, Luka's not doing this, Luka's not doing that. Yeah, we know he's out of shape. He missed months because of a calf injury, required to run. And it just, but then you had the people who were like, oh, look at this, but they love them. Then towards the end of the playoffs, it was like, oh, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. I'm like, are you guys new here? Do you not know what Luka Doncic's game is? Like, you do not know that he's doesn't believe in defense? Like, he's not there? Like, are you surprised? And they're like, well, he shouldn't be on the floor at the end. Then who are you going to put in? Who? Like, who? Like, that's where it's fun doing these shows. I've also done the shows when the Lakers were rolling and it's like every game is a blowout. They're going to the championship. That sucks. You know, like, okay, yeah, they won the day. Woo. Like the Dodgers right now. Okay, they're great. Fantastic. What are you going to do? Dodger talk. Like, Vassay does a great job with Dodger talk. Like, what are they complaining about? The eighth guy from Oklahoma City? Like,
Right.
but no,
Tanner Scott right now is taking incoming.
yeah, I'm really worried about Tanner Scott, whatever.
Yeah, embarrassment or riches with that team currently. And Vassay does do a phenomenal job. You got any regular callers that you do have rapport with? A little bit of a
Yeah.
back and forth. Is Jeff and Tarzana calling to you
Oh my
anymore?
God.
Because I haven't got a call from
heard
Jeff
that
in
name in a
years.
while.
I
You
know
get
some
Solomon
people
and Lake
think
Balboa, right?
some think he has passed
Yeah,
because he hasn't called in sports talk for so long.
I think so. I think, yeah, he was interesting. You get Solomon and Lake Balboa?
Solomon Lake Balboa. He can be a regular. He's not a Clippers fan, but every once in a while he'll call in to talk.
I like messing
Miguel
with him.
Yardena, he'll
Okay.
call in once in a while.
I get Solomon and Lake Balboa. I always remind him, like, hey, how's UCLA doing? Like,
Ooh,
and he's like, gives me the breakdown. No, we have what I really did this year, and it was different. It's my third season doing this. I'm getting my footing down. Is stop paying attention to everybody else. And I'm like, look, if you're gonna call, let's just have fun with it. Like, again, it's 2025. You're calling sports talk radio because that means you're a hardcore fan.
yeah.
And what we did, we do a YouTube component, we do it live, just like you guys do. And what we do is read some of the YouTube comments, but that's everybody's drunk and just typing away, like, so people are like, you suck. I'm like, here's the number. Here's the inside number, bro. If you want to call me and tell me I suck. But more of, I decided to ignore like the noise and go more to like the listeners, the fans of the station. And so we really did a lot of like, if you were at the game, you go to the front of the line, because you're leaving and you're listening. Like, straight, call us up, let us know what section you're in, and you go to the front of the line. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Season ticket holders, front of the line. Like, because the regular hardcore people, they're going to be there no matter what. But like, I developed a relationship with a man named Judge Kelvin, who's been a Lakers season ticket holder since the 80s at the Forum. Everybody just said he was a judge. He was a judge. Turns out he really is a criminal judge at the Compton courthouse. Like, and I never met him. And then we do a section 111, just like you guys used to do, right? And a man just walked up one day and handed me his business card, and he just said, Judge Kelvin had his name, Compton Courthouse. I'm like, oh my goodness. I thought it was a joke that he was a judge, right?
Rise.
Yeah, so if you ever need anything, we got a judge in Compton, man. We're good. No, but we have a good reporter, people, good amount. There's a man named JJ in Belmont Shores who we made up this thing that he lives on a boat and he's like a rich trust fund person. And he would always hang up. He's like, I gotta go close my bar at the tab. Like, he just sounds like the dude at from the Big
The Big
Lebowski.
Lebowski. F and A.
Yeah. We have good times, man. What about you? You got those?
I got a lot of regulars that call in. There's some people that there's a guy named Clavon. And this is the interesting part. When you start doing the YouTube, obviously, people can then pick up the show from anywhere in the world.
Yep.
So this guy Clavon starts calling in from Michigan and just had some epic rants and kept talking about Ben Simmons and saying, "Put it up, Ben. Put that shit up, Ben. Have confidence in yourself, Ben." And if you're just doing the internet side after the radio show's done, you can let the language slide and all that.
Wait, so you do your post game only on the radio, right?
I'll do the post game officially on the radio side, and then afterwards I'll call it Clippers Talk After Dark. Where
Oh,
after
okay.
the 570 show's done, I'll keep it going on the streaming side here on
You're
Clippers
doing
Talk on the
two
YouTube.
shows?
Usually, depending on
Damn.
how the game went. Now, if I'm at Intuit Dome, which I do want to ask you about, I'm not sure if you visited yet. I don't think I've seen you there yet, Beto,
No, because it's technically a road game, so I don't go for road games.
because you
Because
couldn't stay there and do the post game show.
correct. But you're allowed to do your post game from there?
I can do just like I can't do it for you guys though. Now at crypto, I
Yeah.
couldn't go there because the Clippers would be the road team and I couldn't stay afterwards long enough. So I can't go anymore when they're at crypto. So, but if it's a home game, I can stay there and they won't tear things down. They'll let me
Okay.
stay at least an hour, hour and a half
Yeah.
after.
So for us, I'm home games, I'm inside crypto. And then because I do just like you do a lot with Carlo where you interact with him throughout the show, throughout the game, because Carlo's by himself, who's fantastic. And I really like that interaction. For me, I do end of the quarter update. So it's like a minute commercial.
Right.
Hey, here's the status going up. And at the end of the third quarter, I do my last update. And then I go back across the street to our studios because as you know this at crypto, most of the times as soon as the game's over, they're knocking down everything because they have to get ready for a Kings game the next day or a hockey game or
Taylor
the
Swift
circus
concert.
or a concert, whatever it is, So that's why. So we do our post game live on 710 ESPN radio, but we also stream it live. So it's like a simulcast kind of thing.
Right.
That's why you're all over the place. I'm like, because I'll tune in. I'm like, damn, Adam does this longest post game ever. Because sometimes we'll be done at the same time. And I'm like, this guy's still going. I'm like, hey, bro, that must be good to be young and have all that energy. Because I'm like, I'm gone.
Beto, one time I'm driving home from Intuit Dome afterwards, and it was a bad loss for the Clippers, and I'm stuck in traffic. So I just threw up my phone, log in to the same stream I'm doing right now here on the YouTube side. And we got to the point, there was like a gas leak or something in the road. I'm out there for 2 hours.
Oh my God.
And they eventually make us turn around. Well, I had to go to the bathroom basically the entire time. I was like, when I left the arena, I was like, I'll be home in 28 minutes because that's what it is if there's no traffic.
Yeah.
Of course, I had to go to the bathroom, but I said, hey, I'll be home in a half hour. It's not a big deal. I can wait. Well, that was the night I should have gone to the bathroom before I left. I didn't do this on the stream, but I did end up having to find an empty Crystal Geyser bottle in my car and turned it into a whole event. So yeah, I've
You
done some crazy
you're
streams
dedicated
here
to the
and there.
nation. You're dedicated, bro. You are dedicated. Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
you touched upon this a little bit earlier with LeBron, and it's just amazing to me how divisive he still is, even with Laker fans. Is it still like that
Oh,
post game where somebody's calling in with an agenda because they're still defending Kobe and his legacy, and they don't like the fact that LeBron is here? How many callers you get like that?
I've weeded those out, and it's not that I'm being a guy who's censoring you. I always say, there's some games where I just know there's going to be LeBron hate because he missed a shot at the end, or he didn't take the shot, or he dribbled it off. Whatever it is, you just know, right? And it's changed a lot this year when Luka showed up because LeBron had the ball in his hands less. But there was also games where LeBron would have his ball in the hands more, and like so you had certain things, right? So you just know when you're going to get the LeBron guys coming in, and then you get the opportunity where I say, hey, all right, look, if you're going to call and rip LeBron for the way that he played tonight, feel free. I got no problem with that. If you're going to call and just rip LeBron saying that this is why he'll never be, like, don't even start that. Like, just don't. Like, because that is old and it's tired. It's just a weak take because it is what it is with him. You know who he is. The dude's 40. We saw him grow up, right? We saw him in high school. He was the first high school basketball game that ESPN aired at UCLA. So we know who he is. So rip him on the court, no problem. But just when people start getting personal, it's like, all right, bro, like it just becomes like redundant. Now,
Does the Bronny stuff lead to even more hate with the phone calls this year? Because some people love him. Like he has a groundswell of support on social media with the younger audience.
I'm trying to figure out how to answer that question. So, you know what? I didn't get any Bronny hate calls.
Good.
I didn't get any Bronny any kind of calls. I would get. It was more in the beginning of the season. It was like LeBron was doing this, LeBron was forcing that. You get it. Yeah, the Bronny stuff kind of died down. Now, regular sports talk radio at 710, of course, all day long, right? But during the postgame, I would kind of do it like, bro, he didn't play tonight. Why are we going to talk about a dude who's number 15 on the roster? Like, why? Yeah. Like, I only have an hour to show. Let's just focus on what happened in the game. Again, not that I'm trying to stay away from it, but it's like, are we really going to, if we were doing like Charger talk, are we really talking about the kicker? Like, like let's focus on
we have the kicker, baby.
We got superstars. We got superstars on the court. Like, why worried about the second round pick? Like, that's a whole other story for another day. Like, whatever it is. But the kid is great. The kid does work. Never really talked to him, but he is what he is. He's a second round pick. But LeBron would always LeBron's gonna catch straight for everything because he is LeBron. But again, a lot of that is LeBron inflicting it on himself. LeBron being passive aggressive with the way that he handles things. And it's not recent. It's from when he was in Cleveland the first time. It's like the way he handled, like people, you're either going to love LeBron or you're going to hate him. Will he get a statue? Probably. Will he get his jersey retired? Probably. It's just, is that really going to piss off a lot of fans? Absolutely. Are there going to be other fans who love him? Yeah. But it's like you have that older faction of LeBron didn't do this, LeBron doing that. Like, he's been here, 7 years now? He got you a championship. Like, is he ever going to be one of those like Lakers? No, but he showed up. He made the decision. Like, just
I think it's interesting because 5 years, the 5 years previous to LeBron coming, the Lakers averaged 25 wins a year. And then he comes, they win a championship. You can say it's in the bubble, whatever. Are you telling me you're not better off with him than how things were going before him?
Bro. I work at Spectrum, Lakers TV. And before LeBron would show up, I know my role. I get called off the bench because nobody else is available. I have no problem with that. So I am the king of summer TV programming because nobody's around. Like, we're the environment. They're not doing TV in the summer. We used to do hypothetical lottery pick shows, right? It was like, if the Lakers get the 1 pick, who would you take? If they get the 3 pick, who would you take? Yeah. And it was like, Summer League basketball, woo! A great job by the producers finding ways to make it relevant. But if I never have to talk about Summer League or lottery picks again, I'm good because LeBron saved you from that. And for that, I thank him because let me tell you this: when you're talking about Bismack Biyombo, when you're talking about all these other guys of what could have been, bro, let's talk about games in June that actually matter, which it's been a while, but hey.
Let me ask you then, the perception doing your shows during Lakers-Clippers games, how much of it is hate towards the Clippers versus just indifference? Because a lot of Laker fans come at me and say, we don't even care about you. But it's like, well, the fact that you keep telling me that kind of says you do care about the Clippers. How do you see it?
I always say this. Nobody talks about the Clippers more than a certain faction of Laker fans. Like, the majority of Laker fans, whatever, man. Like, our rival is Boston. Like, our rival right now is the Warrior, right? Whatever it is, the majority of fans. But you always get like that 5%. Clippers will never do this. Clippers will never do that. Like, bro, why are you worried about it? Why are you talking about them? Like, admit they've been a better on-court brand the last few years. Numbers-wise, just basketball-wise. Again, the Clippers will never be the Lakers in LA. We know that, right? The Angels will never be the Dodgers. We know that. The Giants will always be the Giants. The A's will always be looking at them, right, in the Bay Area. We know that. So why even bother talking about that? It's like the same thing I tell Dodger fans. Why are you worried about the Padres so much? Like, you have the best team. Why are you worried about this little brother? I ain't paying attention to little brother. I'm worried about, it goes back to the way we are raised, right? You worry about who is going to be your thing in the championship, right? That's where you want to be at. But again, it's good to go back and forth, the banter between fans. And I guess because I've seen both sides of it, it's like, bro, the Clippers are just trying to worry about what they're doing. And it's like it's just, that squeaky wheel, right? So it's that small percentage of Laker fans. Clippers this, Clippers. Like, yeah, we know that. You're never going to beat us. Really? No kidding. You're never going to get 17 banners. Really? No kidding, right? Nobody else in the NBA is going to do that. Like, just, it becomes annoying. It's not even fun, right? Because if the trash talk was fun, it'd be good. But, like, again, it's a small percentage of Laker fans that are doing it. And you're like, well, then all Clipper fans have to do is like, well, look at the last couple of years. We've beat you pretty easy, right? It hasn't been close on the court. And then what happens? And I hate this argument from any sports fan. How many banners you got? All right, bro. Yeah, good. The Cowboys have banners from the 90s. And it's like, oh, we have all these. Like, I hate that. How many have you done? Okay, what about today? Tell me today. What would you do the last time? Like, again, this is back and good for, sports talk radio. And now, mind you, there's a small percentage of Clipper fans that are always poking at Laker fans. Always doing this, always doing that. And like, why? Like, why? And it's just, it's just the era we're in, right? In social media where everything gets elevated and there you go. But I always like I remember growing up as a kid, it was like, why would you be a Clipper fan? Because all we knew in LA was Showtime Lakers, mind you, the 80s. And it was always the kids who were like, oh, my dad doesn't like Magic, so I'm going to be a Clipper fan. Or we go to games for free. And it's not like, now it's different because you grew up. If you're a little kid or if you're a kid in junior high, you've only known the Clippers to be a good playoff team. Like, again, you didn't know about, Olo Candy. You didn't know about Eric Piatkowski. You didn't know about the Lloyd Watts days. And I would see them on Channel 5. I was like, damn, these teams are bad. So you're either going to root for them because it was in your family or you didn't like the Lakers. Like, that's whatever it was. But now if you're a kid, the Clippers do a great job in the community. They give out the jersey. They have the junior Clipper programs. And you're going to be a Laker fan no matter what. Because if your mom or dad are a Laker fan, your family is, what first thing they do, they give you the Laker jersey in your crib. Same thing with Dodger fans, same thing with Raider fans. It's like you're born into that family, and that's all you're going to know. So Laker fans are hardcore loyal, and Clipper fans are hardcore loyal. And I just don't get why they constantly have to go back and forth at each other. I get it, but I just don't get it. It's like, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of an argument.
I knew Laker fans had something different, a different level of energy and hate for the Clippers this season in particular, because on a night where the Clippers lost to Boston, I got a call from a prank caller, a Laker fan, trying to set me up, originally saying, hey, hope you're not doing too bad tonight after the Clippers lost to the Boston Celtics. And then he said, but go Lakers, baby. It's all about the Lake Show, baby. And I said, wait a second. You're calling on a night where your biggest rival in the Boston Celtics beat the Clippers. And instead of being upset that Boston won a game, you're happy because the Clippers lost. So you had a decision to make there. You should be upset that the Boston Celtics won a basketball game, but apparently you hate the Clippers so much, you're okay with them losing to the Boston Celtics instead. Like, that was wild to me.
How about there's a prank caller that calls me every couple weeks. He's a Clipper fan. And Michael Funches, our producer, always tells me, he goes, oh, man, this guy's calling me. I was like, put him on. I embraced that. And he would call in, and he would change his voices different ways. And he's like, oh, and I knew, I was like, oh, yeah, Lakers, huh? And then he's like, turn into the Clippers. But the Clippers, they're doing this and this and that. And I was like, how come you don't call Adam? And I said your name. He goes, well, Adam does a good job. I was like, Adam's a great job. I love him. I was like, I listen to Adam all the time. I think one time I even said, look, I'm listening to Adam right now during the commercials, man. He's doing a great job. And finally he figured out he wasn't going to prank me.
You
And
killed
he's
him
like,
with kindness.
yeah. And he was like, well, why are you talking about it? I'm like, well, why are you calling? Like, just like simple as that, man.
That
Old Dirty
there's
Bastard says I talk a lot. Yeah, bro, I'm in the broadcast. What do you think I'm gonna do?
this is the job, old dirty.
Yeah.
But apparently, both fan bases living rent free. But there was a
Yeah.
time where I understand why the Clippers have the Lakers on their mind. You should be trying to chase them down. They are the gold standard, purple and gold standard in this city. But forever, it was Lakers fans saying, "Oh, we don't even care about you. You're just a little nuisance. You're nipping at our heels. You're nothing to us." That
Yeah.
has changed over the last 15 years or so because the Clippers have won something like 38 of the last 48 meetings
Uh-huh.
between the two, including winning 11 straight at one point against the Lakers. Like it has been pretty one sided. Now, we haven't gotten the battle for LA in a playoff series. It almost happened this year. Beto, what do you think that
You really
hypothetical?
thought it was gonna happen this year?
Well, if the Clippers, I think if they lost their last two games,
No, you thought, oh, the first round. That's right. That's right.
I think there was a
Yeah, for the
real
first round.
chance
I thought you meant for
that the
like later
Clippers
on
could
in
have
the
been.
playoffs. Like, no,
Oh
no.
no, no. But
Yeah,
it
there
could
was
have
like
been
that
that 3-6
potential.
matchup.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How do you think that would have went, given what we saw in the first round from both teams?
Oh,
Because I thought originally, I was like, the Lakers, I don't like that matchup for the Clippers. I don't because of the way they can go small
yeah.
and therefore take away one of the Clippers' biggest strengths in the beats of Zubas. That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even think it was gonna happen, so I didn't really think about it. But if it had to go, it's one of those where you could see it go both ways. It wouldn't be like that would be a good 7-game series, because LeBron would get so hyped up for it, right? You know that Kawhi would be like, okay, let me just go do what I do. Not that Kawhi's gonna get hyped up for it, but like he is so my goodness, just again, I've seen Kawhi since high school. He is amazing and sucks at all the injuries that I deal with. But my God, when he's out there doing the mid range and just like you see this, Adam, when Kawhi's out there warming up, you're just like, mind you, before the building even opens up, like this dude doesn't sweat. He just does his shots. Every single thing is so methodical, straight to the point. It's beautiful to see. But how would it have gone, man? I don't know, because the Lakers were faltering at the end. They had no size. Um, damn, yeah, it would have gone seven.
After, yeah, it probably goes 7. And I would, after seeing the way things played out for because I said it, I took the Lakers against Minnesota, but the way they lost to them made me more encouraged by the Clippers and how they performed, at least taking Denver to 7. I think the Clippers would win that series this season, but it's neither here nor there. Just a stupid hypothetical because we haven't ever gotten the Battle of Los Angeles. It almost happened in '06. It almost happened in 2020 in the bubble. It almost happened this season, but it's yet to happen. That would set the rivalry on fire and bring some real stakes to it.
Damn, Raul Perez hated listening to me on ESPN LA. A lot of other fans love him. Can't hate, just not my cup of tea. Sorry, Raul. I don't know why you stopped listening to me because I don't have a show. Like I'm not a regular daily person, but as long as you support Adam, that doesn't matter. Like as long as you support Adam, that's all that matters. But what up, Raul? Hope you're having a good morning.
Look, this is how it goes on social media. You know what it is in the
I,
chat. You know what it
it's
is on
not even
forums.
never take anything personal. That's why working with Petros and Money is fantastic over there. You learn a lot. Again, I'm just happy for you, Adam. Like what you're doing. I saw before you even had this Clipper gig. I remember talking like, dude, you have talent. You can do this. You like just keep at it. And I know you were frustrated at those times because you were working 8,000 other jobs trying to get buff too. But like just like keep doing what you're doing, man. You're building a lot of good things, a lot of good stuff, and you and Carlo have a good rapport.
Well, I appreciate you, one of my inspirations in this business, a mentor, a friend, and somebody who has always been extremely kind and hitting me up and texting me during games and saying, "You and Carlos sound great." So
No, I because again,
honestly,
I listen. It's genuine. Like I again, not because I'm like really. I want to know what's going on. Like Carlo is so. Again, I met Carlo when he was a freshman at USC in Shelly Smith's class, and he asked me for like advice. I helped Carlo get high school jobs, and he would Uber to do these high school games. And like, I like seeing good people win. And you two are hustlers, and you get after it. And like, it's only going to get bigger and better for you guys because you have a really good team to go for, man.
Oh, appreciate you, Beto. I wanted to bring you on. I know some people would say I'm sleeping with the enemy right now, or this is like
Oh,
Marvel versus DC or something, but
let me
come
tell
on.
you something. Let me give you the behind the scenes. At the end of the day, we all work together because if Adam has a job for me, I'm gonna go with Adam. I have a job for Adam's going with me. Remember, Adam was a Kings fan growing up in Sacramento. People, don't forget that.
It's facts. Well, I
But
love you,
man,
brother.
how do they
Appreciate
treat
you
you?
doing this.
They treat you good over there. The fans,
The fans with Clipper Nation?
yeah.
Oh, for the most part, they're great to me.
Only
Once in a while,
pay
some
attention
people
to the good
on
stuff. Pay
but
attention.
some people on Reddit, on Clippers Reddit, have
Oh,
gone
don't do
off
that.
on me before.
Don't ever. Okay, first of all, okay, let me Theo Beto's about to show up. Don't ever read Reddit. Don't ever, first of all, don't ever read anything. Don't ever pay attention to it. And 9 out of 10 comments are going to be good. Don't pay attention to the one negative one, Adam, because that person doesn't like you, but they're still listening and they know everything about you, man. Channel your energy into the positive that you get, and that's what you're doing with this broadcast. You're doing this with the YouTube because the people that are there with you 2 hours after the game are the people that are going to be there rocking with you and rolling with you and making you bigger and better. Focus on the positive, and the negative ones, just remember, they love you. They just don't want to admit it.
Even if they're hate listening, I'll take it. One way or another, they're listening.
Yeah. Again, you're only gonna just there's we have a beautiful job and we're lucky to have it. Only 30 people in the world have these. So give the people the good stuff, man. Give the people the good energy. Give the people the right thing. Every now and then you want to jump on a troll, right? Every now and then you want to step on one because it's like,
You know me.
yeah, exactly. Every now and then because you got to keep the knife sharp, right? But again, you have something great building with the Clipper Nation. Keep doing, man.
As Brian Seaman, our friend, would say, the worst day working in the NBA is the best day working anywhere else. We are blessed, we are
Yeah.
lucky, and it's easy to be passionate about what we do, even on those tough days, even when our teams get bounced in the first round. Beto, thanks so much for doing this here on Clippers Talk. First time here, won't be the last time. This was a treat, my friend. Thanks for doing it.
No problem, man. Anytime, man. I love you, man.
For Beto Duran, I'm Adam Osland. This has been another edition of Clippers Talk.